leading up to Tuesday. I'm going to feel all these things. And now you're actually more open to like, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Instead of, oh my gosh, here comes that trigger again. I can feel it. I can feel that pit in my stomach. I gotta do something. I have to figure it out. And then you end up just turning right back to pornography because you want to avoid that trigger. You want to avoid that urge because you know what it means. It means you're going to screw up. It means you're going to be a failure again. You're going to let down your spouse. But now, like with the scheduling, you're turning towards it and can now see it for what it is and begin to learn even more about where it came from, what it's doing to you, what it's doing to your mind, etc. And that was one of those things for me where just processing the emotions kind of allowed me to see it for what it was and not be afraid of what I was feeling. So
gives me a chance to recognize the emotion that's present.
Yeah.
And to welcome it.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, here's my good friend pornography, but here's my good friend this trigger of inadequacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually say, my good friend in inadequacy, and be able to say, I don't need to play with you today.
Yeah.
Now, it takes some time to back out of all of this stuff. What you're doing is you're slowing down the process of using.
Yeah. And I remember when we worked together, you know, one thing you told me was with Winston Churchill, his black dog, right? Oh, here comes the black dog again. And it's such an interesting analogy because it separates you from the thoughts that you're holding about that addiction, right? If it's pornography, oh, here comes, I know what these feelings are. I know what these sensations are. Here comes the black dog. It doesn't mean that you have to give into that, but now you're aware, okay, I know what these things represent. Thank you for coming. And one of the things that I work with my clients on is actually thanking the urge for coming, because the only reason it's coming is to, in your mind, keep you alive, right? You want to feel better as a human. You want to move towards nutrients and away from toxins or things that hurt you. And so this urge that's coming is just coming because you've trained your brain that this is how I'm going to feel better. And so if you can begin to see it for that, you can thank it for showing up and, you know, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're here to try to make me feel better. I appreciate it. I don't necessarily need to pet you right now because you're just my little black dog. So go sit in the corner because I have stuff to get done.
Yeah, go lay down.
Yeah, go lay down. And that was a very powerful realization for me, is kind of separating that from my core identity. So that was a very, very helpful piece of the whole puzzle for sure.
I'm glad to hear that. That really is a very powerful intervention, personal intervention.
Yeah.
To be able to name that distress, whatever it is,
for sure,
claim it as a friend, and then be able to say, okay, you're here for a minute. I can entertain you for a minute.
Yep.
And then I got a whole bunch of other stuff to do.
Yep.
And go over there and lay down.
Yeah.
It'll come back, of course, but you're training your brain to manage it differently. Is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like lifting weights, like 250-pound bench press. The first time is going to be, it's going to feel weird.
It's going to crush you. Yeah.
It's going to hurt like hell afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And then my conclusion is I'm never doing that again.
Yep.
And then you're the coach and you say to me, well, we're going to do this again tomorrow and we're going to do it twice.
Yeah.
Because the idea is building that emotional muscle of I don't need to do this activity that isn't helpful for me.
Yeah.
And it takes just practice is what it does.
Yeah.
I think.